ending my session few minutes before because all is imperfect. And I'm just checking right now if I am well live and audible on YouTube. And so, how are you feeling today? It's Sunday, 22nd of March. For those that are live or on the replay team, thank you so much for joining. And this will be a perfect live stream. I'm with my smartphone. There is the nature out there. It's sunshine. There is the birds. And I'm just checking right now on my life. And so, how are you feeling today? Yes. So I am live and I'm really blessed to be live. And okay. So, handling my technicalities. Okay. So sorry for that. I am live with you right now. And this session will be not only about French gems, okay, not only about French gems, which is not really the purpose, but about mental health. That's why I call this session CaféDuBien. I can talk about the story about this term, but first I'm going to signpost. So thank you so much, everyone, for being live on the replay team. Hopefully, I will be joined by some people that have the restream link on LinkedIn. I can also share in the comments um, if I am able to do that. But right now, thank you so much. I'm focusing on you, and I'm really blessed. It's really incredible that I can be in nature. There is the sound of the bells, and the sunshine is there. And this is a special day. So this video will be about talking about mental health, talking about this also special day. It's not such joyful day because this is the 10th anniversary of the Brussels bombings. As many cities and places in the world that had to face terrorist attacks, Brussels had also terrorist attacks. And on the 22nd March 2016, 10 years ago, at two different places, there were one or many bombs. And at that time, at that particular day, there was 32 victims. That's why in the Swan, there are 32 trees planted. And then a few days later, we learned that three other victims were added, turning to 35 victims of these terrorist attacks at two different places. And then, sadly, it's really a reminder also that mental health is really important. I learned that today that a 36th victim was added to the list. And this is important, my friends, because she was the daughter of a person who was killed during the bombings. And few weeks ago, she took her life. And so, for me, mental health is really important in our daily life and in our societies in general. So, in this session, because I know that signposting is important for you, because for people that are joining live and people that are in the replay team later, I will talk about the Brussels bombings 10 years ago. I will talk about Dorothy Auger, who lost a friend during the bombings and decided to create a poem. And then it became a poem translated in 70 plus languages. And thank you so much for being live with me and also for the replay team. And hope that Kimberly can be able to join me. If not, it's okay. If she is in the audience, I'm really blessed to acknowledge her presence. And I am focusing on right now on my smartphone, and I don't know if I can see the comments right now. Feel free to comment. I will do my best to acknowledge them. Right now, I'm in my smartphone in nature. Thank you so much for attending live or to be in the replay team. So I will begin by share the poems of Dorothy Roger in 5 different languages: French, English, Italian, Dutch, and Spanish. Spanish is not my native language, so I apologize for it's a language that I would like to learn. I'm natively French. I speak Dutch also, and English, of course, and Italian. So let me first, and I am going to, because it's not about me, it's about the poem that you can find in the website of Dorothy Auger, oops, which is dorothyauger.eu, dorothyauger.eu, and she has her poem translated in 70 plus languages. So I'm beginning in English, and I'm turning now. I'm going to try to turn my camera so that you see the text, hopefully. Okay. And here you might not be able to read it, I think, to watch all, but I am intentionally showing my screen, and I will read the first poem in English. For love. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded. Not just my little piece of land where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love. Dorothy Auger, Brussels, 23rd of March, 2016. And now I'm going to do the French one. And there are 3 versions. I selected the one that speaks most to me. Feel free to also discover the rest of the other versions in her website. Pour l'amour. Je choisis l'amour, même le cœur lourd, même l'âme brisée. Je choisis l'amour parce que le monde est déchiré. Pas juste mon petit pays, où je suis plutôt en sécurité, où je suis plutôt bien, mais le monde tout entier, chaque jour. Je choisis l'amour. Oups, share my screen. Je choisis l'amour. Et je puise dans cette lumière la force de rester debout. Pour transformer la violence et mettre fin aux guerres. Je choisis l'amour pour que nos enfants soient saufs, pour que nos amis soient à l'abri, pour que nos frontières s'ouvrent. Je choisis l'amour, même le cœur lourd, l'âme brisée. Bruxelles, 23 mars 2016. Then, in Italiano, because I love this language, by the way. So, sorry for this imperfection adjustment. Apologize. Credero ancora nell'amore, anche quando ho il cuore greve e l'anima frantumata. Credero ancora nell'amore, perché il mondo è dilaniato. Non solo il mio piccolo paese, dove vivo quasi al sicuro, dove vivo piuttosto bene, ma l'intero mondo, ogni giorno. crederò anche ancora nell'amore, perché abbiamo bisogno di più luce, non di altri morti, non di più potere, non di nuove bombe. Crederò ancora nell'amore, così che i bambini cresceranno al sicuro, così che i nostri amici trovino rifugio, così che le frontiere si aprano. Crederò ancora nell'amore, anche quando ho il cuore greve e l'anima frantumata. Traduzione, traduzione Ilaria Vilkelis. And now I'm going to do the Dutch one. It's not my favorite language, but it's in Belgium. And I apologize for noise. So, liefde is waar ik voor sta. Liefde is waar ik voor sta. Zelfs met een gebroken ziel. Zelfs met een zwaar hart. Liefde is waar ik voor sta. Want de wereld is gewond. Niet enkel mijn klein stukje land, waar ik meestal veilig ben, waar ik meestal goed ben, maar onze wereld overal, elke dag. Liefde is waar ik voor sta, want we hebben meer licht nodig. Niet meer doden, niet meer macht, niet meer bommen. Liefde is waar ik voor sta, zodat onze kinderen veilig zijn, zodat onze vrienden een thuishaven hebben, zodat onze grenzen open zijn. Liefde is waar ik voor sta, zelfs met een gebroken ziel, zelfs met een zwaar hart. Then I'm going to finish with the Spanish version. And so I'm going to read that. Defendere al amor, incluso con el alma quebrada, incluso con el corazón cansado. Defendere al amor, porque el mundo está herido, más allá de mi pedacito de tierra, donde estoy casi siempre seguro, donde estoy casi siempre bien. Pero el mundo, nuestro mundo, por todos lados, todos los días, defenderé al amor, porque necesitamos más luz, no más muerte, no más poder, no más bombas. Defenderé al amor, para que nuestros niños estén seguros y nuestros amigos protegidos y nuestras fronteras abiertas. Defenderé al amor, incluso con el alma quebrada, incluso con el corazón cansado. Traducción de Antonio Meza. So that's it, my friends, for the quotes of the text. And now I'm focusing on being on camera right now, seeing if there are any comments. And right now, thank you, Dr. Marcia. Good morning. Thank you so much, Dr. Marcia. Thank you also, Lucy. Thank you so much for commenting live. And thank you for your octopus, by the way. So this is a video streaming that will last probably 45 minutes. I am now focusing on being present with you, no matter what the environment. I was quoting the poem versions from the Rotier in English, French, Dutch, Italian, and Spanish. And now I'm going to see, okay, I am still live normally. And feel free, Kim, to join on the restream. I am going also to see if I can put again the link on the restream on YouTube and LinkedIn. So bear with me because I am going technically to not be present right now, but you are listening to me. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Am I doing this to pay tribute to Dorothy Auger? Am I doing this to thank Jessica for continuing the legacy of Dorothy Auger? And I'm doing this to pay tribute to all the lives that was lost and impacted during the 22nd March 2016 Brussels bombings in Zaventem and Malbec station, and all the people also that were impacted because they were there to help the people that were impacted. And this morning was broadcasting in the television in Belgium with the King and the Queen of Belgium, uh, King Philip and Queen Mathilde. And it's a day that I want also to give you some news about me. But first, it's we. It's more about the 22nd of March. Today is a day that I want to commemorate. And so right now I am just also again in LinkedIn pasting the link of the restream so that you can join if you want. And I am also doing that on YouTube because I want to include you for the rest of the 30 minutes. Feel free to join to have a conversation. And so I am again inviting him to join. Voilà. And I am also sharing on the YouTube channel. I am an octopus, so I'm doing 36 things at the same time. So thank you so much for bearing with me. I am live with my smartphone and my tablet. And this is the brew number 2, the edition number 2 of my. Um, so thank you so much for people who are live or on replay. So here it is. I am now going to close all the tabs and focusing right now on the lights. So thank you so much. I was until now I was talking about the Brussels bombings and the Dorothy Auger poem. So Dorothy Auger is a friend. Sadly, she spread her wings more than 3 years ago, and now each and every day I think about Dorothy Auger and her work, thanks to Jessica. Jessica Duga, or Lucas, thank you so much. Since many days, weeks, months, years, to continue to hold the flame of Dorothy's legacy through her poem, I Shall Stand for Love, or We Shall Stand for Love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. Her poem was written on the 23rd March 2016, one day after the bombings, because she cannot sleep, because she was having a friend not giving news. And a few days later, she realized that her friend was killed during the bombings. And this morning, while broadcasting on television the ceremonies, the commemorations, it's a sad day, my friends. And we are here to remember. We are here also to stay human, to stay strong, and to choose love instead of hate, to choose union instead of division. When I think about that, I think about Saint Franciscus prayer, Saint Franciscus of Assisi prayer, where there is darkness, let me place light. And whether you are believing on a god or on the universe, Mother Earth, or dragons, unicorns, or not believing at all, we are here for a limited time, my friends. Why not love each other? The world is abundance. I learned some. I was reading somewhere a few hours ago. We don't create abundance. Abundance is already there. We only create limitations. and we are here on a limited time. Some people are there for more than 100 years, some others for few decades, and even others for a few years or few days. And so it's about loving each other, doing our best to live during the time that remains. In French, je l'aime tant, le temps qui reste. It's a song from Jean Ferrat. And I love so much my remaining time, and I don't know how many time do I have, but I am here with you right now in my vehicle, and I choose love. I choose hope, and I choose to be the best version of myself at each and every time. So thank you so much for your comments, and thank you also, Yadi Jvalji. Also, I've seen your comment. It's a bit challenging for me because I'm in the sunlight. But thank you everyone for commenting. I'm just going to check the comments. Thank you, Yadi Jvalji, Daniel Wad, Shukriya. I love to say hello and thank you in 40 plus different languages. So I was quoting the poem of Dorothy Roger, We Should Stand for Love. Feel free. I'm going to pass the links later on the comments. She was doing one or two TED Talks and some other interventions. This particular day, 10 years ago, and no, few hours, 10 years and few hours ago, we're having two bombings in Brussels. And 33 lives were lost during that day. Three other lives few days later, and one few weeks ago, because now I realized was a victim that was counted, the 36th victim, and that sadly took her life because she lost her mom. And so I was thinking about also sharing some nuggets in French and translate in English because, of course, there are now a lot of articles um, about that because this is a commemoration day. And so here there is lots of news. And so here I'm just now sharing the article that I've seen. And I'm going to voice it in French, and then I'm going uh, to share it in English. And I don't see if there is anyone joining right now in the background. Let me know, but I am going now to read the article in French and to translate in English. So, attentat de Bruxelles. Une 36e victime officiellement reconnue, Katharina Victorson. La fille de Berit Victorson, qui avait perdu la vie à Zaventem, a été reconnue comme la 36e victime des attentats de Bruxelles. 10 ans après, Katharina Victorson s'est suicidée il y a quelques semaines. So, during the Brussels bombing, a 36th victim officially recognized Katharina Victorson, the daughter of Berit Victorson, who lost her life in Zaventem, was recognized as a 36th victim for the bombings. And it was 10 years after. And so she took her life a few weeks ago. And so officially recognized during the ceremony, the commemoration to the victims, because she took her life after the court was I don't know how to say that, but there was in French un procès, and it was on the early 2026, and so her name was added to the list of victims. And so during this court action, Katerina declared at her testimony, in getting out of the room, I was almost collapsing. It was um, truly getting out high, the head high. And then since I've seen that they didn't see me anymore in the room, I sat in a chair. I thought that I was going to collapse, to lose consciousness. But now, here it is. It is the line that is awakening. That was her share. So sadly, she took her life. And for me, it's about realizing that mental health is really something that is important. Mental health is something that is cultivating each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, because an event has consequences hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades after. Grieving is something that is not a checkbox. Of course, the system would like to know that done, over. Is it really over? I don't know. For several weeks, months, and even years, I was having thoughts each time that I was getting out of the subway in the station, or going to the station for taking a subway, or even passing through the station. Nothing is really completely cured because our body is keeping trauma. And so for me, it's to have this tribute to Dorothy Roger, who wrote this poem, to be able to grieve, to also be able to be sharing the sentiment of the victims. And this morning, I had incredible testimonies during this ceremonial. And it was first 10 years ago today at 7:58 a.m. on the Brussels airport, Zaventem, and then at 9:11. It's really strange that I say that, but 9:11 a.m. at the subway station Malbec, and it is now 10 years, 2 hours and few minutes ago that the bomb exploded in the subway station Malbec. And as a testimony, I can say that I will always, always, always remember this day, because I realized at that day I could have been one that could have been in that particular subway vehicle. At that particular day, I was taking the train. I was in my dad's place in outside of Brussels, and I get to Brussels to do my job. I was employed at that time, and my job began at 9 a.m. And at that particular day, I was taking the train, and I was not realizing that this train was leading me to another line. Sometimes I was getting out of the Schumann station to take the subway. Sometimes I went through with the train to directly to Brussels Midi to get there, or Brussels Central, or I don't know. But at that particular day, I was missing the line. The the train was getting to Scarbeck out of the I was expecting. And so I it took me 25 minutes to finally be able to get to work using other means. And of course, it's easy to say that I will not be able to be in that particular subway because it was 9:11 a.m. But what if he decided that it was 30 minutes before? What if I was in that vehicle when he decided to explode? So, uh, what I would like also to share, because I don't know if I missed Kim. Uh, okay, I'm just checking right now if I have uh, a WhatsApp message. But thank you, Kim. Anyway, uh, Kimberly. And one thing that I realized is that it's it was really painful for me this morning to see some documentaries and to see some testimonies because I feel like the where the victims taking into account. I've heard a poignant, really heartful and deep share of the wife of someone who was killed during the bombings, and she shared her sadness and also her anger about how she lived this event. People telling them atrocious things, and her not able to be able to receive support with humanity. So I don't know. It's I choose love. I choose also reality, which is that we need also we need to be human. We need to be with each other's. We need to listen more and to be empathic, to choose love, to choose hope, to connect, to listen. And at the same time, there are humans on earth, but what is the responsibility of a country towards victims? If this country is not able to act at their space with humanity, when the system is too much boxed in administrative stuff, in cold hold. So it's easy, of course, and no terror has to be accepted from any point of view. No human, no organization, no system, no country has legitimacy to do terror to other humans, to other organizations, to other countries. And so we should stand for love. We should stand also for justice. We should stand for more humanity towards those that are governing citizens, that are humans. But is the system enough human? Is the system enough helping the victims? That's what I felt when I heard the shares of this mom of two girls that lost her husband in the subway station. And so for me, it's like it has to be the real truth, to be able to share, to be able to express, to choose love, to choose hope, to choose humanity, to choose empathy, to choose listening, and at the same time to ask for justice and recognition for the victims. I've watched a picture, like I can share it to you because it was in the, the journal. It's a caricature, a picture of a drawing of Pierre Kroll about the justice and the parcours du combattant of the victims. And so I wonder if I'm able to see that. But it's about recognizing the struggles of the victims that are not only facing the days of these events, these bombings, but also how does the state, here it is, the picture, I'm going to show it right now, of, okay, so sorry, camera, okay, and so here is the caricature of Pierre Croc, which depicts a maze with the victims that tries to find, to fight for recognition, for the fact that they were victims of a bombing, of one or two bombings. So that's it, my friends. I don't see any other comments. I am back to my camera here, right there. So this was me. I'm going to be in my room, also in my room, for some meditation, and feel free to join also for in my gratitude room. And you can join my room by going to linktree/Frenchly. And that's it. I don't see any other comments. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being live or on the replay team. And in 90 minutes, in a bit less than 90 minutes, there will be the daily We Shall Stand for Love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. And normally I share it in English. This time I will share it in French. And I'm going to post also the link in the comments of the room of Jessica Tuga that honors Dorothy Auger. We Shall Stand for Love. I am going again to quote it to finish this room. And I might have a session this evening, but I think I'm going to stick to this session today. But you know, it's like impromptu. So right now, I thank Coach K for being there with her thoughts. And I am going right now to quote the poem and then to close this session. Hmm. We shall stand for love, for love. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul. I'm going to end right now because it's okay. Repeat, repeat, repeat. For love. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I'm mostly safe, where I'm mostly well, but our world everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. Written by Dorothy Auger on the 23rd of March, 2016, one day after the Brussels bombings. So, LinkedIn user, thank you so much for your comment. I don't know who you are. Thank you so much for saying hello. And now, for the last 5 minutes, I'm going to give you some news. Give you some news. So, let me just tell you first, my name is Oli. I'm living in Belgium. I speak natively French and also Dutch, English, Italian. My fifth language would be Spanish. And it was a session today about the commemoration of 10th anniversary of the Brussels bombings. And I feel really emotional today. I was watching the TV this morning with my dad, and it was a special remembrance that 10 days go so fast. 10 days, 10 years. 10 years goes so fast. And some news. Last year was not an easy year for me because my dad went into the hospital for few weeks in July, August, and then revalidation in August, September, July, August, September. He came back and then he tried to get better. And on the 28th of December, he was again asking me to call the emergency again in the hospital back on the 7th of January, but difficult to climb again the mountain on oxygen machine. And he is feeling a little bit better right now, but it's like always remembering that life is precious. And although that we all know that uh, Chuck Norris was beating death, you know, ironically, nothing is granted in this planet. Whatever we can live 100 years, 86 years, 76 years, or 50 years, or even few years, in 5 minutes it is not granted. In tomorrow is not granted. So it's to realize that nothing is granted and to live it each and every day. And so, my friends, I feel a little bit better, but I am having challenges. And I'm more and more going to share my gems, my talents, my joy. I am now officially on LinkedIn open to joy, which is a better state that say open to work. I'm open to serve. I'm open to be useful. I'm open to joy. And I thank again Jessica for bringing me joy, bringing bringing joy to our community around. And it doesn't mean that we can be joyful each and every day, yet we choose joy as much as we can, and we try to go through. And I am trying to go through because it is not easy, really, towards me searching for a job, me having to face very soon the cut of my social benefits. I cross my fingers that it will not be the case yet. I fear that it could happen, but I'm doing my best to act. And also on my entrepreneurial journey. language coaching. And so thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Go Branch and Ripley. Thank you, my new language community. And I cross also my fingers. I cross my fingers. Nothing is certain. I've not yet booked my train. I've not yet booked my accommodation. But I'm crossing fingers that I will be able to see my dear friends in a little bit less than 2 months right now on the 20th of May in Sitges, Spain, for the 10th anniversary New Language Conference and the fourth participation of myself, and also being a speaker, healing through poetry. Happy to have done my Blue Dogs on that, thanks to Jessica. And so that's it. I don't see any other comments right now. Feel free to comment on the replay team also, to share your thoughts, to follow me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can comment. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also join my replay room. And so thank you so much for watching. We are on the 46th minute. This was a special session live. Of course, not US friendly, but I am counting on my US friends for giving me some thoughts and reflections. Not only likes, not only love, but also shares, reflection. And see you next week for another session. See you also more often for CaféDuBien session. I'm going to be more consistent, waking up at 5:30, 6 a.m. And thank also Marsha for being my dear friend. Thanks so much, all the people that are sharing my journey. This was Oli, your language coach, and keep shining. Thank you also for being present in my journey, everyone. And it's a blessing to be alive. Always to remember that. Sadly, 10 years ago, 35, even though 36 lives were lost in the aftermath of the Brussels bombings. So bye from now, keep shining, and all